Good evening, troops. We are live. We have digested some of the court's papers. Fascinating stuff. So, as always, the most censored platform in Wales. We have opposer 2-3, or more censored man, I should say, rather. We have opposer 2-3 to confirm that we are live, because we've had situations in the past where we're live and then after a while it just kicks us off, and we can see there's the viewers coming in. Hello, troops. Okay, so Q&A. I'm going to waffle. I'm reading absolutely everything that's appropriate. Hi, Debbie. In the chat today. So if anybody has any, os ti efo cwestiynau amdana fyddin a milwr, if you've got any questions, reference, fighting this, the cabal. Side dog, hope you're well, my boy. So I'd like to start off with, I had a phone call yesterday, okay? I had a phone call from Steve Forsyth, who's become a very good friend of mine, and he gave me a debrief on how one should conduct themselves. And, as always, you have to take everything with a pinch of salt in the age of disinformation. However, I do love and trust that man. Hi, Morgan. So, yes, what he said to me has, it's gone in. So I'm now very much looking forward to going to court this Friday. I hope many of you can join me, troops. I know it's a hassle. Trust me, I know it's a hassle. I don't want to be fighting any more than any of you. We had it at the Sounds Beautiful Festival. Somebody asked the question, well, I don't want to be in a war, is what they said. You're saying that I'm in a war. I don't want to be in a war. Unfortunately, right, you may not want to fight, but if you're walking down the street and somebody gives you a clip, and then you shake him off, and you're like, what are you doing, bud? And then he continues to clip you again, and he's continued to swing for you, it's fair to assume that you are in a fight. Now, you may not want to be in that fight, but unfortunately, you've got two options. You can get your ass kicked or fight back. That's it. And it's the same with this establishment. I appreciate, people are afraid to fight back. But, we have to lose the element of fear, because these guys are not as powerful as we are led to believe. I mean, they have conditioned us forever so that we think that they are super powerful. So when I was speaking to Steve yesterday, right, he mentioned PTSD. He said, Vince, you're gobbing off all the time about PTSD. Fair one-ish. Now, me and Steve disagree on, many things. And I guess, I don't completely disagree with him. Well, to a certain extent, I do. Because the reason that I keep reminding and revising the troops about psilocybin is because how amazing it is. I honestly do not believe, without these canines and the microdoses, that I would still be here. And that's legit. I was really having a hard time. Now, I know I keep gobbing off how sad I am, right? But that's only because we're at war. Somebody said to me the other day, you're always going to be at war, I don't think so. I think I am optimistic about peace. But I just still like to hammer it home, right? Many of you guys are suffering at the moment, and microdoses would fix your problems. So I'm always going to keep reminding the viewers. Doberman's off, you've seen a bird. Will this be up at Livedale, Vincent? I'll watch later. want to donate, so we'll PM. Keep up the amazing work. Together we are strong. Much love. Thank you, darling. Yes, this, I believe they're up for a period of 30 days. And I'm also going to save this video. I'm going to make sure it's under an hour. So I was on time today for Facebook Live. I know I'm always pushing the times back. But I'm going to do an hour. And I'm also going to do them every day. Do you know why I'm going to start doing them every day? Do you know why, troops? Because I found out from the bundle yesterday that Dale Vincent has intelligent officers, police reconnaissance, and they've been wrecking me. They've been wrecking a veteran that has given 14 years for his country. They're not wrecking paedophiles. As a matter of fact, they're letting them go free from the jails, if you are unaware, here in the UK. And, you know, it's not just little old me's opinion. You know, we've got Elon Musk, one of the most influential people on planet Earth. And again, a lot of people say he is a bad dude. Listen, he used to be into transhumanism before all of the cooperation, in my opinion. Okay, so you can believe what you want to believe, but I believe that he's had a one-place change. We are on the right side of history. We are fighting for the light. God and its spirituality war. We will win. Hear, hear, John. Much love, slow connection. Much love and respect, bro. Thank you, Ty. They only have the power we give them. So I have submitted to court a bunch of stuff challenging all their acts and statutes. It's, you know, not my work. For those of you aware of the realm of England, okay, it's been Debbie's amazing work. Debbie's watching us. Hi, Debbie. Do you want to join? By the way, Deb, anybody that ever wants to join, guys, you don't have to only type in the thing. I'll join you onto the chat. I'm getting sentenced for defending myself against an immigrant not paying his bill. Do you want to elaborate on that, James? Congratulations, Corporal COVID, on going live on time. Your platoon has done well today. My platoon have been working since 0600 this morning. That's the standard, of course. Lol. What platoon are you referring to? You are a breath of fresh air. Thank you, David. Thank you. It's so I'm unable to give you everything that's in the court papers, obviously, because I could be violating the court rules. Not that they're courts. Not that it's the law. But as my teacher, Lieutenant Colonel Ricardo Borsi from the SAS teaches, right? Because again, you can pick Dr. Fauci to be a teacher if you want, okay? But I like to follow Tim Ballard, Pascal Najadi. You know, these guys are soldiers. I mean, Lieutenant Colonel of the SAS. He's the commanding officer of the most prestige regiment there ever was. And somebody said yesterday, you haven't got no credentials. This is how fucking stupid people are. The commanding officer of the most prestigious regiment in the world, no credentials. So, I mean, be smarter. Take Lion Mane. The Stand Together platoon. Bore off, John. Norman, thank you for coming and witnessing yesterday, my bro. Yeah, you are an absolute legend. I was in Crown, same, first appearance. You was respected for what you have achieved. You're not giving any meat on a bone there, James. Yeah, so he started attacking me when refused to pay for service. Oh, so you give him a service. is what you're saying, is it? I mean, I think the viewers are starting to see the two-tier policing. I mean, it's almost as if police in the UK are racist, no? Have we all seen it? I mean, there was a glorious video the other day. I say glorious for exposing the lack of professionalism in UK government. Big love, Norman. But yeah, there was these guys attacking this dude, and it looked like illegals attacking a white British, and the coppers went and arrested the white British. And I've seen he was acquitted the other day of assaulting of emergency worker. I mean, it's bloody ridiculous, isn't it? But what we have to do is we have to continue to push. It's not good enough to just get the acquittal, because what comes from the acquittal? We have to continue to press them. I'm sure that you guys have seen now that I have escalated so we had a crime incident or crime reference from Inspector Green on the 8th of July, 8th of June, apologies, this year. And even the Somerset Police just dropped it. They didn't tell us why. Yippee! They just dropped the case. Something like 11 witness statements in there. Some of them being lawyers, some of them being doctors, some of them being scientists. Not extremist protesters. Sean, oi. James, so against us, English and Welsh, of course. You're referring to the so what actually happened? Would you like to join on and give us some feedback? Anybody. I'm going to be doing these now all the time. Johnny Harris, clown. Who are you referring to, Johnny Harris? If it's me, I bet you won't join the call, will you? All these individuals. Brilliant, my friend. Thank you. Thank you, Nigel. So yeah, all these trolls that gob off, they never seem to want to join on the video. You are a soppy clown. John, I'm inviting you to the video. Ask John to join the podcast. The bets this guy's going to be a little bitch and not join. I'd meet you in person instead of a call, you muppet. Oh, okay. Well, I guess we'll have to see then, John, won't we? Because you won't answer the call to me, baby pants. You want me to outside Crown Court this Friday? 5 to 10. You fucking lizard. Apologies for my French, guys. Yes, we have to. You're a bitch, not me. Why am I a bitch, John? Well, I'm not reading any more of your comments, John, okay? You can join on the chat and tell me like a man. Or you can act not like a man and continue to call me names in the comments. You big tough dude. Well done, mate. Good job. Diolch yn fawr, Paul. To those who were at the meeting of Blade Runner's Weekend Festival, oh, they're coming in too fast. Festival last weekend, I have now formed a signal group to join. Handcore activists know each other and only, but will be forming others. No one is above the law groups. So the drama with our bro is, well, yes, it just depends what kind of group it's going to be, because, you know, we'll have people like this Johnny Harris that are obviously either suffering Stockholm syndrome, cognitive dissonance, herd mentality, or just love being a slave, or they could actually be, you know, as my report is teaching now, intelligence officers gathering int, and I tell you, the int that they gathered is absolutely shit. I will not, we won't make them public yet because we're obviously unable to do so. abiding by the court rules that are not court and they're not laws. Well done, mate. We need... Oh, apologies, guys. You're coming in too fast. I'm glad I'm disturbing your gay life. Ah! You're not, though. See me smiling? You think I care about maggots like you, bro? Silly little man. We need far more patriots. I like you, Dale. Love the Welsh. Thank you. Nicky Kersler, just look. Ah, I haven't seen Nicky on here before. Ah, Nicky, you're gone. Ah, there he is. Just look at his profile. Keyboard warrior. So, Johnny, my friends tell me you're nothing but a bitch. Thank you. Good eye, Nicky. I'm obviously unable to get off at the moment. Johnny's commented again, but I'm not reading it because you are an imbecile. Got to ask, what was on the warrant when they entered your house? So, there wasn't a warrant. There was a writ. What do you mean, what was on it? I mean, we only had eyes on it yesterday. That is not lawful. They are not entitled to do it. I've read the police reports. And cross-examination is going to be fun because they lack integrity. You know, these guys are... It's really unfortunate, you know, because I don't know why weak men do what weak men do. I don't know why they haven't got the courage to admit their flaws and say, whoop, I might have thought this, but obviously I was wrong. So yes, they've dug themselves a hole, and I'm very much looking forward to the crossings. I mean, I don't know whether it's going to get there. You know, court on Friday, or when we go to court this Friday, I should put it. Yes, I'm not getting my rights violated anymore. No. I spoke to Steve last night, and he reminded me that these lawyers, right, you know, you know, unfortunately, it's now, it's an industry where people just want to get rich. You know, I was up against, who was the barrister? Catherine Lane. Now, that is one lady with integrity. She was the prosecution barrister at the citizen's arrest case. And for example, the judge wanted to, you know, minimize everything. So I had an hour 20 content of capture of the day of the citizen's arrest. Judge wanted us to get it under 20 minutes. The barrister said, well, why? If it proves criminality. And I was sat there like, whoa. But she's right. You know, it's not about corrupted protecting people. It's about the law. So again, I don't know what'll happen, guys, because we've challenged the jurisdiction, so they have to now. You know, they've had plenty of time. Don't waste your time talking to trolls and Brigade 77 and talk about positive stuff and move forward. Don't let them waste your time. Here, John. Well, I've invited Johnny to the call, and I've told him I will no longer be reading his pathetic, flawed thinking process out aloud, but thank you for that. Got to ask. Oh, Johnny Harris joined the live, then big man. See if you can back up that little mouth. Here. Solicitors. Oh, guys, apologies, you're coming in. Solicitors need putting on notice using Gary Waterman's statement. Apologies, it went then. Well, I'm not sure about Gary Waterman. I'm not saying he's definite shill, because he may not be, but some things, some of his tactics are very questionable. Also, when he reached out to me, he told me that he wasn't a fan of Tim Ballard, Pascal Najadi, and Ricardo Borsi. Now, fine, we can disagree, but, you know, to be in this profession and disagree with 3 battlefield assets, I struggle. I struggle to see, you know, and he's telling me about registered to company's house and stuff. Again, I don't know. So I am wishing him well. Obviously, if he is a shill, you know, good luck to him, because all criminal activities will be held legally liable for their actions, in my opinion. Their ops are distractions and fuckery, bro. Chin them off and move on. Yes, no, here. What is the name of the commanding officer? So it's Ricardo Borsi. So he's Lieutenant Colonel of the SAS. Ricardo Borsi. If you scroll down my page, you'll see much of his work. John. Not the John that I'm not reading. Different John. Why don't the Welsh rally around the banner of the returned Christ, who is also descended from King Arthur of the Holy Grail bloodline? I don't know, mate. I don't know why we're not more active. I think it's because people, so we're just so conditioned is the right answer. You know, when Rome was falling, you know, they still had the bread and circus. They still had the games right up until the end. So unfortunately, I mean, because the kingdom is so vast, right, it struggles to manage itself, right, like a kingdom. So you'll get one aspect that's really strong, but one aspect that's weakening. All right, shut up. It's only birds. Enough! You'll get, you know, and like people become lazy. Not only it's a, you know, it's a task managing a platoon. Can you imagine managing a country? Oh, we've got Scott Mackey on, Corporal COVID. What a donkey. Scott, I'm going to add you on. Let's have a guess. Second derogatory fool. Let's have a guess. Right, I'll add him on in a moment. Who thinks he's going to answer the call? Scott Mackey. Who thinks he's going to answer the call? Maybe these guys don't answer because they can't answer, because they're bots. John, I can't read that link at the moment. I will afterwards. Any strong woman here willing to volunteer and turn up for peaceful, lawful, and legal pro-action? Those at the weekend festival meeting know why I ask. Did anybody with a list take names of all the individuals that were present? Dale Vincent. This is a good one. Are you Masonic? Mark Sexton, long lost Welsh child. Let's ask him. Let's get him on. Let's get him on. Oh, it won't let me add you to the call, Scott. Oh, were you a pussy, bro? Yeah, so I can't add Scott to the chat, but I can see I can ban people from streaming. So they're nice. Don't even mention the troll and give them the children attention. I like to show the viewers what we're up against. I like to show that, you know, I like to, and I gotta be honest, it's maybe a little bit too much. Nah, but I'm not now. I'm pulling myself out of trying to, because again, these guys, when you're trying to educate pork, as the saying goes, these guys are not even pork. Because trolls, you can't educate a troll, or satanic. Oh, so here he is. Here he is again. Did you get your army fancy dress from eBay? Unfortunately, Scott, you was warned. You won't join the call, so I am going to have to block you there. Or I won't block you, so you can still see my comment. I'll just prevent you from gobbing off. So no more from you, young man. And I did not get my fancy dress from eBay. I served my country. Something I guess you know very little about, Scott. Knock me on your lizard. What do I do if I have bailiffs knocking? Please, Dale Vincent. Okay, well, there's many things that you can do. And again, it very much depends, right? So, do you know, for me now, going through this process, for a long time, I was wounded because I had the right to defend myself up to and including death. And you want to see. So I've never said, right, that I'm going to kill people. I'm going out to kill people. But that's what they interpret me in the new reporting that we received yesterday. Oh, he's violent, and he's threatened with extreme violence. Well, me telling you that I'm going to protect myself within the boundaries of law, of course, that makes me violent. So, I mean, what you can do, what I could have done, was protect myself up to and including death. Now, for a long time, I was hurting that I didn't protect myself up to and including death. Because I'm so tired and I'm so fed up. But, I mean, I can't answer that question for you, unfortunately. I honestly thought, and that's why I took to the internet and said it, I honestly thought if it come, I would be up to the task. They came, they caught me on a day, okay? I opened the front door, attempting to resolve it diplomatically. Oh my God, and as we now know, it was not diplomatic. They violated my rights, and I'm still attempting to fight for them. But I guess now, well, I say I'm in a far better stage, but I don't know whether that's completely accurate, because the lawfare that these guys are throwing at me again is mental. It's ridiculous. You are, apologies. Let me just block this little John. So I'm banning John from the stream. You can still watch us, Johnny Pants, okay? You can still watch me educating how men should educate their community. You can still watch, so maybe you can learn. But I ban you from commenting. All right, champ? So I don't know what to do about that. I don't know how to answer that about the bailiff. It depends where you are. You know, do you have a right under castle doctrine? And I've submitted all this to court now, guys. So it's going to be very exciting going to court this Friday. And with my new refreshed thinking process, thanks to my brother, Steve Forsyth, right? Because it's right. These lawyers are not, you know, from an honourable profession. These lawyers, you know, they couldn't do the tasks of a Royal Welsh Fusilier. So I don't know why I'm playing their game, but, you know, Steve has educated me, and I'm ready for Friday. This person is now what? How have I banned him, but he's still bloody commenting? Oh, maybe, no, because that's not a ban, obviously, is it? Oh, maybe the comment is just refreshing. We'll give it a pause of 2-3. Apologies. They hate being ignored, Dale. Ignore them. It hurts their ego more than any word can. Yes, however, we must not, and again, you know, you may not agree with my thinking process, but when this first happened, right, I was all up for rebuilding the Colosseum and making these guys fight lions for our pleasure. Chuck them in. That's the new death sentence. In you go with the big cats. But Steve Forsyth, you know, a very knowledgeable man that I listen to and, you know, quite often I agree with. He said, Vince, we shouldn't be promoting violence. And he's right. Even though that I am willing, you know, you shouldn't promote it. You know, so because right, this is the thing, right? Do you know these people that are raping kids? There's a good chance that they was raped as a child, and they think it's okay. Now, does that mean it's okay? I'm not saying that. Okay? I'm not saying that. Obviously, it's never okay to hurt a child. But you have to take into consideration this guy, he's a casualty as well. Now, I know most of you will be cringing behind the screen saying, no, you hurt a child, that's it. And, you know, to somewhat extent, I agree. But how are we ever going to break the cycle of ancestral trauma if it's not us? You know, if we're not taking this seriously, because they have these, what do they call it? Another word for a nonce, MAP. So it's minor attracted persons, right? Now, these guys are really sick. Maybe therapy will help. I don't know. My expertise stop at military tactics. Well, I'm a little bit of law now. Yippee! But, yes, guys, very good questions today. Good effort, troops. Everybody's on their lion mane this morning. Gary for Freedom on Telegram, his evidence document is on his page to download. Thank you. When the Metropolitan Police of the Yard phoned me to ask if I could pop up in the local station for an interview, I told them where they could shove that idea. Never heard from them again. Yeah, same detail. The police rang me up the other day, wanted to ask me questions. He asked me 5 minutes before I was going to court, and I said, bro, I'm going into court. So you haven't got two minutes? No. Then they rang me up the day after, and it was after I just won I was acquitted for the assaulting of PC 693. And I said, bro, what are you ringing me for? Oh, because we've had X-ray. I said, listen, buddy, don't act. They come to my house. Remember, you may not. They come to my house because they didn't have my phone number. Oh, we had to tell you in person because we have their number. Then when it's convenient for them, they're ringing me. I said, you was at my door the other day. Oh, we must have stumbled on the number. I said, listen to me now, bro. Are you aware of the affidavit of Dr. Francis? Oh, we're not concerned about... Then fuck off. And don't ring me again. And then 5 minutes after, I had another phone call from withheld, answered it, and it was a police copper, but she wouldn't identify herself. I said, who's this? She said, she didn't say it's one of your friends. She said, oh, it's one of your acquaintances. I said, fuck off, you fucking dickhead. And yes, they have unfortunately lost the trust of the general public. I'm hoping that it's not so bad that we can never regain trust in our in our judicial system. But we'll see. The 77th Brigade. Every time. Apologies, I press see more, guys. Here we go. Right, see more. Yes. The 77th trawl on here, and who conducts psyops on their own people are traitors to this country. Here. The people to your own families and ultimately yourself. Shameful behaviour. And you're all going on the list. Well, the drama is, we hope and we pray that Space Force have collected all of these, because, you know, it's near enough impossible for people like me and you to hold all of the criminals legally liable. It's impossible. So you are right, but I hope Space Force is tasking as it should. How you doing, my brother? Not too bad, my bro, thank you. Download the Signal app, people. Nothing is totally safe, but it's the safest app to chat and communicate on. We will be forming our very own people's social media and then outsource. So you mentioned that at the festival. My thesis is, why hide when you're talking lawfare or legal or when you are within the boundaries of law, because we are not criminal. But I do know what you're saying, John. You know, it's for tactical advantage, but how much tactical advantage do we need? You know, these guys are minority. They're tiny. These criminals, they're absolutely tiny. If the men in our communities give a shit about children welfare as they do football, there'd be no need for nothing. There'd be no need for nothing. We could literally walk down to the police station today, attempt the affidavit of Dr. Francis Boyle, and if they ignore it, like PC693 of Avon and Somerset Constabulary on the 4th of October 2022, reasonable proportionate necessary force may be applied. We can just arrest them, all of them, every one of them, regardless of rank, regardless of attire. They can be arrested. So it's a waiting game. The great awakening is a waiting game. We're waiting for the rest of the men to wake up. Do you think the explosion in Essex? I'm wondering, Iran sleepers. I am unfamiliar with any explosions in Essex. Is this new? When we say Iran sleepers, cabal, innit? You know, it does. You know, just to summarize, because I think it's better to label them as satanic or cabal, because there are many religions that fall into that category. So then, you know, you're not looked on for picking on a specific, you know, even though I believe that Islam ideology, some of it, you know, treating women like dogs, you know, raping kids, that is not cool for me. Over 500,000 unsealed indictments, Gitmo and others, bases overflowing with CEOs, ET for execution. I believe it. I believe that the military are in control. I do honestly believe it. And a lot of people are asking, well, where are they then, right? Should you do your children's homework for them? No, you shouldn't. You should allow your child to develop naturally. I mean, we can obviously help, but you wouldn't do their homework for them, right? You wouldn't do their science project and then tell them to take it into school, would you? That's why we can't see the military on the streets yet. And when somebody explained it to me that way, it was the best explanation I've ever been given of Q. Because if you wouldn't do your child's homework and you wouldn't expect a good parent to do the offspring's homework, then why would you expect the military to do yours? I arrested a copper. Why aren't we arresting all of them? Sergeant Geraint Rees, 4477. ignored the affidavit of Dr. Francis Boyle that is now under criminal investigation. 2600047716. I went live outside the police station. We recorded the conversation with the coppers live. And some of you are still paying council tax. You are in violation of the Terrorism Act until they have finalised the criminal investigation. Now, if the Metropolitan Police say, oh, Mr. Vincent, do you know that affidavit of Dr. Francis Boyle? Yeah, well, the thing is about Dr. Boyle is he was a complete lunatic. And all his teachings were flawed because of X, Y, and Z. Then I'd say, okay, and you guys wouldn't be funding terrorists. But until then, until we've had confirmation of 2600047716 that was submitted on the 3rd of the 3rd, 26, escalated to the Metropolitan Police. Until then, it's still currently under criminal investigation. So those of you that are paying council tax, you are in violation of the Terrorism Act. So, I mean, that's... Oh, no flour. I didn't bring any flour with me. Tamping. Okay, well, only 10 minutes left. So, yes, guys, stop paying them. And that's how you challenge it as well. Send your council, 2600047716 is currently being investigated by South Wales Police. I am withholding my payments until the Metropolitan Police give us a yay or nay. Stop paying them, troops. Effing woman woke up ages ago. Why not our men? Dogs also got excited, right? Massive shout out to the women through the COVID era. Do you know, once upon a time back in the military, I was doing my education because I skipped school. I say skipped, they offered me to go to the military preparation college instead. So I was there for a couple of years before joining the military. So I didn't do any of my GCSEs. I redone them when I was in the military before leaving. And one of the topics was Trump. I was given Trump, which I wasn't happy about, because the other one was, should the women join the infantry? There was two topics, two groups. Now, I was an infantier. So I would have loved that topic. And I'll tell you something else. I would have said back then, no. I would have said, women in the infantry, jokeable. Right? Fast forward to 2026. Get them bitches on the front line. Because the girls... Thank you, girls. You have outshamed the blokes through the COVID era. I'm the first one to admit it. You know, happy to admit when my team has lost. But the girls have been showing the fucking boys how it's done through the COVID era. So, yes. And I had Trump. And that was back in years ago. But funny, because I would have enjoyed debating the chicks, only because I didn't have to prepare for that subject matter, because I was already in the infantry. So I could say, yeah. But what I researched on Trump, back then, I liked. Skipping school was probably the best thing I ever did for myself. Yes, so they have now in South Wales, they have these homeschools, but it's the homeschool group, and I love that. Because we're then using our common sense. We're not teaching the LGBTQ nonsense to children. You absolute paedophile. What are you teaching our shit to kids? Teaching children about masturbation. Form your... Right, John, you're going to have to stop giving me paragraphs, but you're more than entitled to join the chat if you want. John's paragraph. Form your communities, people especially. Grow in communities as a food crisis is coming. Debatable. Get proactive, people, and vanquish any apathy you have. The only people that will save you is yourselves. You didn't listen to my lecture the other day, John, did you? I don't believe that to be accurate. So what I just explained about the army not doing or wrong, about parents, or I shouldn't call them parents, mum and dads not doing offspring's homework, that's what I believe that the military are doing with us. It's not that they're not stepping in to save us, right? They're not stepping in to save us yet, because they done that in the Nuremberg trials. And here we are today. People don't even know about the Nuremberg trials. So this operation is very much, so yes, with the growing of the communities, food crisis, debatable. I mean, they are trying to do it, but I do believe in war, every action has a reaction, and I do believe that the white hats, Q, military alliance, whatever you want to call these guys, I believe that they are fighting in our corner. Johnny, my boy, no more 10 paragraphs. Hey up, lad, Kev boy. I'm exactly the same on the bipolar scale. They are eating children, man. Yes, they are. And if anybody doesn't like it, you know what to do. But unfortunately, burying your head in the sand and unfollowing individuals that are bringing light to these grave crimes, it's comfortable for you to do this. But think about the children, okay? We eradicate these crimes by spreading awareness. We are telling the truth. Jamie, I love you too. Any idiot parenting thinking home ed is to be followed like schools means they are missing the whole point. Homeschooling regime is pants. Letting children learn naturally is 10,000 times better. Well, it depends. It depends, doesn't it? Because what is the curriculum you're teaching? So for me, right, if I was the home schooler, first thing it would be health. That's the first thing that I would educate children on. How to be healthy, grounding, cold water therapy, good sleeping habits, good eating habits, good exercise. What else would be in the curriculum? Finance. So we talk about fiat currency that isn't money and how it's debt orientated and what things are real commodities, real money. You know, you could talk about defending yourself, which I think the majority of us today, you know, think maybe appropriately because of all these unvetted bought people. You know, and again, I'm not racist. I have friends all over the world, and we talk quite often to my foreign brothers, okay? Because any individual that have donned this T-shirt, I don't care what colour your skin is. Any individual that's donned this T-shirt, you are a brother of mine. But, yeah, it very much depends on the curriculum, I believe. Detox protocols, cellulite, is that? I can't even pronounce that. Followed up with a parasite cleanse. Hi, Kevin. Hope you are well. Yes, guys, cleanse. I started a lymphatic drainage this morning. I will get back to you this time next week. John writes a standtogether.org website. Check it out. Expect kids to sit still in their classes. Indoctrination camp. No, yes, of course. Yes, of course. Well, I mean, yes, much, because I do believe in discipline. And so the army taught me great discipline. However, the COVID war, has taught me patience, which I'm still struggling with, because it's not as easy for a soldier to be patient while his countrymen, women and children perish. But unfortunately, because of the size of the beast that I'm fighting, it's something that I've had to shut out of, because yes, it's happening, but unfortunately, I'm limited. The Rothschild schooling information puts you in formation. Nice. Hi, Dale. Is this still live? Hi, Ian. Yes. I'm retiring in 5 minutes, but do not fear, because it's a nice straight cloud, isn't it? Because I have found out that I have intelligence police surveilling me, right? And monitoring my social media, I thought, let's fucking go then. I'm going to give you so much content. I'm going to give you more content. So you're there at your desks, hopefully sweating your tits off, you little rats. But yes, to all of those of you that are monitoring my comms, and again, not conspiracy, in the court orders, in the court paperworks, that will be available for everybody to read after the court case, but not before then, unfortunately, because you know how these guys get. Ian, do you miss the army? When we say army, it's such a big branch, isn't it? I miss my rifle and Card Alpha, because this war would be over so much faster if I had a platoon of men and my gat, because I am a battlefield asset. I've obviously done very well remaining humble in this war. I broke an algorithm that was estimated $100 billion. Not many men have beaten the algorithm. I am one of them. And where would I be with a platoon and my gat and a pouch full of grenades? Sergeant Geraint Rees would be in deep shit. That's where he'd be. But no, I guess it's better this way. I do miss elements of the army. I would love to be back in there. I mean, obviously I was medically discharged for PTSD, and this high stress environment, sometimes it makes me weak. I'm not the individual that I used to be when I was serving. My mind just hit its limit of exploitation. So now I have to keep medicated, to smoke a bunch of weed and eat the microdosing of psilocybin. But with them, I mean, if the army would allow microdosing of psilocybin, which is interesting actually, because I don't think that they can test for it. I know that they can't test for it in its raw form, so I don't think that they can test for it on a compulsory drug test neither. But the cannabis also helps me, and I don't think that you can be... Yes, I do miss the army, to answer your question. I loved it. And if I was still in this war, I mean, and we don't know the universe's plans, troops, do we? It's such a vast task, you know, crumbling essentially an empire, you know. I don't know. Stay focused. Thank you, Zach. I do try. Tracy, big love to Tracy. And so would Judge Burgess, be in big trouble. Yes, he would, darling. I'd probably go for him before Sergeant Geraint Rees, only because he's higher up the echelon. And he is the criminal that's exposed himself to me. People need to follow Gary Waterman's strategy on TikTok. Lisa1972. It's the only way to end this sooner. Lisa, I disagree. I have proven that you can arrest a police constable. We proven in court that the police are not above the law. What are we waiting for? Go and arrest criminals. That's it. Yes. You can't just arrest people, though. You have to give them the opportunity, right? Don't just think you're going to go and arrest any dickhead. If he's not committing an indictable offence, you cannot use reasonable, proportionate, and necessary force. So, just bear that in mind before you think you can just go and nab a copper, okay? But it's very simple. Go and take the evidence to him. And if that policeman says, no, we know they're following Operation Tala, then he's fair game for arrest. But if he says that he is going to investigate the crimes, then unfortunately, darling, there is nothing that we can do. But that's all we need, is for good men to step up, in and out of the police force. Okay, sirs, ma'ams, I love you all. I will be back, not Sunday, because I'm trying to work less. Yeah, no, I'm not doing Sunday. I'll be back Monday, okay? I'll find out the timing. But I'm going to do these now every day. I'm going to do 1 hour of Q&A where I sit in front of my phone, and anybody wants to ask me a question, you can. Okay, so I love you all. Keep sharing, spreading awareness. Catch you soon.